Hi, I'm Jen Roach.
Hi, I'm Anina Bolfamonte.
Hi, I'm Sophia Cressa.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Vuxenai.
And this is Jab's House.
Woo!
Woo!
4 types of houses are cabins, colonial, cottages, and farmhouses. Log cabins were the first form of housing that was used by settlers. For settlers, this was the easiest type of house to construct because it was made out of logs, which were easy to come by on freshly settled land. They were used as temporary housing until more permanent houses could be built. Log cabins were most common in wintry or heavily wooded areas. Nowadays, log cabins are a very mod form of housing and are typically used as vacation homes in ski neighborhoods. Colonial architecture includes building styles that came out of the United States colonial period. Colonial style is associated with the houses, churches, and government buildings that were built any time from 1600 to 1800. There are various subtypes of colonial houses, including French colonial, Spanish colonial, Dutch colonial, First Period English, and Georgian. Some common characteristics of colonial houses are entry doors in the middle of the front of the home, a pitched roof, and a stairway directly behind the entry door. A cottage is a type of small home originating from England. Nowadays, cottage homes are often used as vacation homes located on beaches, lakes, and/or other bodies of water. Cottages are often identified by their compact size and asymmetrical exterior. They tend to only be 1 to 2 stories high. Some exterior traits that a cottage typically has are roomy porches, gable roofs, stucco siding, balconies if the house has 2 stories, large bay windows, flower gardens, and Dutch front doors. Some interior traits of a cottage are exposed ceiling beams, natural woodwork, hardwood flooring, rustic cabinetry, built-in dining nooks, and fireplaces. A farmhouse originally was exactly what it sounds like, a house on a farm where the owners of the farm could live. There are 3 key elements that classify a farmhouse: rural location, functional porches, and formal and informal spaces. Porches were a necessity because it served as, among other things, a space for the family to leave their dirty shoes so that the floor inside wouldn't get damaged or filthy. The front of the house served as a formal area while the kitchen and bedrooms were in the back.
An electrical circuit is a path in which electrons flow voltage or current source flow. The point where these currents enter an electrical circuit is called the source of electrons. The point where the electrons leave an electrical circuit is called the return or earth ground.
The requirement for continuous current flow in an electrical circuit is a closed circuit, meaning the battery, a closed switch, ammeter, voltmeter, electrical load, and resistor. Electrical load is any device that uses electrical energy, also known as a resistor. 3 examples are appliances, lights, and heaters.
Alternating current and direct current describe different current flow in a circuit. Direct current flows in only one direction, while alternating current changes direction periodically.
In a series circuit, the same amount of current flows through each resistor, with the voltage being split between the resistors. In a parallel circuit, the current is split between the resistors in parallel, and the voltage remains the same across the resistors.
It is important to use correct voltage because a voltage that is too low will not give out enough power to the product, whereas too high of a voltage will cause the product to burn out and even explode. Other problems this can cause include spikes, surges, and other outages, possibly resulting in loss of data or memory in the business world and in computers. Such problems could lead to hundreds and even millions of dollars in repairs and could be difficult to fix. A voltage regulator could be used to solve these problems more cost-effectively and decrease the chance of something going wrong or a power source going out.
Ohm's law states that the current through a conductor between 2 points is directly proportional to the potential difference across the 2 points. The equation for Ohm's law is I equals V over R.
Temperature affects circuit resistance when materials that are classed as conductors tend to increase their resistance when an increase in temperature. Insulators, however, are liable to decrease their resistance with an increase in temperature. Materials used for practical insulators, such as glass or plastic, only exhibit a marked drop in their resistance at a very high temperature. The flow of current is actually the movement of electrons from one atom to another under the influence of an electric field. Electrons are very small, negatively charged particles that will be repelled by a negative electric charge and attracted by a positive electric charge. Therefore, an electrical potential is applied across a conductor, positive at one end and negative at the other. Electrons will migrate from one atom to another towards the positive terminal.
Conductor geometry affects circuit resistance. The thickness of the conductor changes the resistance of the conductor. A thicker wire will have a lower resistance and conduct electricity better.
Throughout this project, we needed to use various engineering skills to adequately complete the assignment. First, we needed to be able to get the most use out of a single piece of wood and be able to use our given resources to make a majority of the house. We had to map out the pieces we needed, find measurements that best fit our design, and then use them to make outlines for the pieces to be cut. Next, we had to be able to use our knowledge of safe cutting and our safety precautions and glasses in order to cut all the pieces out without harming ourselves or others. Additionally, we had to use the same knowledge to be able to efficiently, safely, and precisely cut out the wood into small pieces for the furniture.
What did you learn through this experience?
I learned through this experience that making a house is actually not as easy as it seems, because when you have to cut the wood, you have to make sure everything is the same size and the same height and everything. So it's a lot of work and a lot of patience trying to make it all put together in the right way.
I learned that we could use different lessons from earlier in the year to help us throughout the year and help us with later projects such as Tinkercad, because we were able to use the Tinkercad to create furniture for our house, and it was cool to see how something digital could be printed out and be 3D, and we could hold it in our hand and we could paint it and we could place it into our house to make it look nice.
I learned that it's pretty difficult to make tiny furniture because you need to be really careful about not breaking stuff because a lot of the pieces are really small and I'm not good at that, so yeah.
I learned that even though making a circuit might seem easier on paper, when you actually try to do it, there are a lot of difficulties involved with it, and it might not end up working as you expected it to. So I thought that was a really valuable experience. What was your favorite thing to do?
My favorite thing has to definitely be putting the house together and putting all the furniture in and seeing how much work we put into this and how great it looked, because we were just so happy that we got it done and how nice it looked.
My favorite part was creating the truck, because I started from nothing and I was able to create a truck based off Mr. Mon's truck, and working with the group together to create like a beautiful masterpiece and all of the pieces that just perfectly fit together. And
my favorite part of the project was painting, because I really liked mixing colors and getting new colors, and I feel like a lot of the colors we have in our house and that we use for furniture were really nice, and some of the furniture was detailed. We had a really pretty polka dotted bed, which I didn't paint, but it still looked pretty.
My favorite part was working with Tinkercad and getting to see something that I created on my computer get created in real life by the 3D printer. I thought it was really interesting, and I liked to see all the furniture once it was painted and done when we put everything in the house, and it finally looked complete from what it had started off as just a bunch of pieces of wood. So I was really proud of what we were able to make.